It's Sunday, it's 9 AM British Standard Time, and it's time for another 3 questions with yours truly, the Knight, and you're asking the questions. And question 1 is from Sir Edward Tophat. How are you today, sir? His first question is, have you ever been to a steam railway? Yes, I have. I believe it's part of the Avon Valley Somerset Railway that actually starts off in Bitton. Now, I'm not a hugely knowledgeable on railway preservation and enthusiasm. I do love steam engines because there's something quite marveling about them. You know, the technology compared to today, steam engines are something that are majestic, are something that you can look in awe at, whereas diesel electric locos, you're like, whatever. Don't get me wrong, they're still impressive, but you think trains, the first thing that comes into your mind is a steam engine. I mean, look at Tornado, look at Flying Scotsman, look at the Prince of Wales that the A1 Trust are building, hopefully in time for 2020 or 2021. Good luck, guys. You did it once, you did it, you can do it again. But yeah, that one specifically. I've been to the National Railway Museum once. Seriously, if you've never been there, this is to anyone that's watching this, if you've never been to the National Rail Museum, please go up there if you're a steam engine enthusiast. It's one of those things you have to see at least once. It's something marvellous. And the one that I'm quite fond of, as you've seen with some of my YT vids, is the Steam Museum in Swindon, the home of the Great Western Railway. And some of the locomotives in there, you know, you've seen one of my videos when I visited in February 2011, where I did the whole monochrome look. That was when I was really starting to get in my stride, editing wise. And just for context, folks, I was really looking for something that would have that effect when you first see that video, and I wasn't seeing it at first. And it was Random DCE, and I gotta give him all the credit in the world for this. He just said, just flip it black and white. You'll never hear me say this very often, but bro, the Random DCE, you are a genius. No sarcasm, no drama, straight up, you're a genius. Thank you. Second question, do you know Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends? Dude, you're talking to a guy that grew up in the 80s living near a railway line, and as most people are aware, it was that particular show in the 80s that kind of helped regenerate interest in steam preservation, and the show Steam Days by Miles Kington back in the day on BBC Two, which only ever ran for 6 episodes. Yes, I'm showing myself to be a complete nerd here, but I've always professed to being a nerd, so that's something I take pride in. I'm surprised that show's never been out on DVD. That's a travesty. Seriously, whoever's got the rights to that, release it. Make it happen. But yeah, I saw that series as a kid. It was what it was at the time. I mean, occasionally I see clips on YT and have a slight nostalgia grin thinking, oh yeah, I watched that growing up. Look, you know, when you look at the practicals and visuals that they used back then, you know, as opposed to doing everything CG. I know CG is cheaper, but something that's practical, you can have an immediate effect with it. Question 3, have you seen Filmed in Super Marination? Sadly, I have not. And it's one of those things I really want to get ticked off my list, because when you look at how Jerry Anderson made the likes of Stingray, Thunderbirds, and Captain Scarlet back in the day, this is a man who didn't have any love for puppet, with the exception of Parker. He always maintains that was his favourite. He wanted to make the best shows possible, so he actually brought big screen effects to the small screen. And when you look at miniature effects, like for example the helicopter crash in 007's GoldenEye from 1995, those were people that actually worked under Jerry Anderson back in the day. You look at some of the miniature effects that were done for Superman 1, that was Derek Meddings. And that was the thing about that show, was deceiving the eye into believing of the scale, that these were massive landscapes that Thunderbird 1, Stingray, or the Spectrum Pursuit vehicle we're going into you believe that actually took place. And that is why Jerry Anderson is a much beloved genius and why he is so sorely missed. We miss you, Jerry. And those have been your 3 questions this week. You know how it works by now. If you're watching this on Facebook, dynamicnight.com, or on YouTube, leave a question in the comment section below. Or if you'd rather tweet me a link, there's the Twitter link in the outro. But until then, ask again.